Right, Kevin. I know there's a lot of few things that I really want to know, but just don't go too excited. So I just wanted to tell you things already. For some reason, that I didn't know that this is not gonna happen to us, but when it's ended. But I'm really sorry though, Kevin, but I didn't mean it to ask you again, but there is nothing we can do about it, Kevin. But for some reason though, it's out of its depth. Nothing exactly happened. I have to make a progress, have to make a call. But there is something that I really need to do. It's my worship. Honor my worship. But the only thing is now, Kevin, but I really need your help for having their plans, but we do not have to subject to everybody else who they needed to do with. But recently, Kevin, the homicide lockdown is terrible. But I'm sorry, Kev. But recently, I know there's a lot of few things that I needed to. Whether I've gone, never been here for a while, I couldn't even guess what I'm doing, but eventually, Kevin, there is something wrong, but I'm really sorry though, Kevin, but I have to make a speech. There is no reinforced, that we have to reinforce everybody. But the fact is, but this is not the only thing we do. But we do things we love. We love everybody, but we don't do anything much time. This is not gonna happen, Kevin, the homicide lockdown. But for some common reasons that we do not know what we're doing. Take all the debrief. We have to debrief, but there is nothing we can do about it, Kevin. We cannot do whatever we want to. It's over. But we can't do anything. What we need is to take care of all of those people who they were injured, but they were injured because of them. One of the police FBI's and guard and SWAT officers, they were going to kill every people in the whole city. They tried to protest them, but they killed them, then they dead because of one of all these officers. I bet Jefferson believes me, but he never noticed. All those shops and takeaways, cafes, restaurants, and fast food has already been closed because of lockdown, but I'm sorry. But I'm sorry though, Kevin. I didn't mean it. It's alright though, Jason. We can always handle all these people around, but for some reason though, Jason, I'm especially wanting to give you some real specific thing that we always do. But eventually, we're both doing it as a team. What I'm thinking is now is to get everything sorted, but not just for the time. But I know that I knew it's a homicide lockdown, but I didn't mean it to do anything much, but nothing much. I couldn't even get more time, but I've already asked them once, but it's me and George were watching you on TV, but we've already watched you on TV for the whole time, but recently, Jason, it's not been used. My box is maneuverable. I can do whatever I want. It's my maneuverability. I can maneuver stuff. So I can move with my shield. And it doesn't actually work at all. So basically, Jason, I have to forgive everyone in the whole place and situation. But the whole situation is now failure, but the failure has already been proceed. But they proceed to the next caution. But just ahead, we do not want to see killing our bases. But this is what we wanted. We wanted to do something. We do something strange
and everything is all over. But there is nothing we can do. There'll be no priceless though, Jason. It's all us. But it's all in my mind. You know, it breaks into us. They break everything from us, but, you know, I should respect. I should broke down to the other buildings that we don't need to destruct. But we don't. But for some reason, Jason, you have to turn it up. Turn it up and down. It's your call. But for some reason, Jason, I couldn't even try my best, but I can try my best though, Jason. But the thing is right now, but I couldn't even understand that we do not know what we're doing, but, you know, the homicide lockdown, but I feel bad for the whole thing. I feel bad for all these Americans, but one of the American people died, but because of all those police and FBI's and SWATs. How did they do this to us? But how did they do this to us anyways? Did they kill them? But they shouldn't. So why should I care for what they need to proceed? It's not in my caution. We've all been caught for the whole reason, but recently it's kind of a real thing. But I'm not really exhausted, but just in case I really wanted to give you things or something. But mainly it doesn't really matter what we do. But depending on what we're doing, is to give them a sight. We're breaking the rules. What we not? We don't have to pay a fine. It's only $120 for the fine. But we do not ever notice. But eventually, Jason, I think you should take care of all of these pedestrians and officers. Take out every pedestrians and officers and they were needed. But for some reason, Jason, but you're on it right now. But this is your only chance that you have to stop the lockdown and then we're secured. I want you to be more specific for what you always mean. I will contact you for later on, but the only thing I really needed to do is to give everybody else, so we understand what you said. But we understand you. But I understand everything that we needed to do is to keep them up already, Jason. All I need to do is to break it up already. But you do the right thing. But now, you did the right thing, aren't you? You were a good Joe. But I made you successful on my reactions. But to be fair, Jason, I really wanted to give you some more surprise, but eventually, but it's not out of a date. But we got him out of a depth we recently needed. So, but you get it alright. But you got that right. But you can do it on your own. You understand?
Yes, Kevin. I understand. I understand what's going on, but, you know, I have to stop the lockdown. I'm not taking too serious, but I just want to be honest with you, Kevin. I'm always want to do it for you. And for your lads. But for now, Kevin, I am the official the warrior. So I can save people's lives. We'll wait and see, Kevin. But what I'm trying to do now is to have to keep myself busy.